I really need an unbiased opinion here, as I am really angry at this situation and do not know if I am genuinely being unreasonable. I, 33-year-old female, am a single mum to my daughter Ellie, 15-year-old female. I've got a brother, 29-year-old male, who has been married for a year. His wife being Hannah, 28-year-old female. They have been together for a total of 3 years. A couple weeks ago, Hannah gave birth to their first child together. She has welcomed visitors, but I have no intention of visiting her and their baby because I am angry at her. I am angry because a month ago, Hannah and my brother stayed at my place temporarily for a week. They were between rent leases and did not have anywhere else to go in the meantime. I was not enthusiastic about them staying, as my relationship with my brother has been complicated, but I wanted to help them out. On the day they arrived, and on the day they left, Hannah screamed at my daughter and berated her for very petty things. The first incident was when Ellie helped them bring their stuff into the house, and she left a pack of their soda bottles on the kitchen counter. They ended up being forgotten until sort of dinner time, and Hannah got all riled up because they were not in the fridge, and warm soda makes her feel sick. She did say sorry to Ellie afterwards, but it did not seem genuine, and she just blamed it on her hormones. The second incident happened when I was at work. Ellie had eaten some fruit roll-up snacks that were in the kitchen, which I do sometimes buy for her. These ones actually belonged to Hannah, which my daughter did not realize, and she screamed at Ellie and made her cry, telling her she is useless and stupid. My brother tried to calm Hannah down and drove her to the store to buy some more of the snacks. Hannah never apologized for this and pretended as if nothing had happened. I confronted Hannah about this, and she still has not apologized. She said that she is just heavily pregnant and on edge, and implied that my daughter has no manners, and should have asked before eating the snacks. Ellie is in the clingy teenager phase, so she has told me everything about how she feels about this. She does not want to visit Hannah and the new baby, and quite frankly, neither do I. I can't really look at Hannah quite the same. I would never scream at someone else's child the way she did, even when I was pregnant, and especially for such small things, and I am struggling to understand why she would overreact so much and be so mean-spirited towards my daughter. My brother has been asking why we have not been over to visit, and I explained to him, it's because I am upset at his wife's actions. He says I am overreacting and babying my daughter. Our parents got themselves involved and told me I am being a jerk and hurting everyone's feelings. Am I the corrected from the jerk? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. She stayed in your home and screamed at your daughter, calling her names like useless and stupid for eating some snacks, and you are wondering if you are a jerk? Hell no. Hormones don't excuse that. She owes your daughter a sincere apology, and I wouldn't step foot in their home until she does so. Not the idiot. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your sister-in-law is hurtful, and your brother is enabling it. Their new baby is in for one hell of a childhood. Also, what kind of adult gets upset over somebody eating one of their fruit roll-ups? To resort to name-calling even? Embarrassing behavior all around. Comment 3. I don't visit people who call my daughter useless and stupid when they're too stupid to get lease possession dates lined up, or too stupid to be gracious guests. Now for the update. After I decided not to visit her and the baby, my brother must have told her about my post, because next thing I know, I'm getting barraged by text from Hannah, apologizing and begging me to come over to clear the air. She sounded genuine, so against my better judgment I agreed, thinking it would be a step towards healing. So I went over, and at first it was awkward but civil. Hannah apologized to my daughter in front of everyone. It was a big moment, and I thought maybe this is a turning point. I was wrong. Later, while my daughter was holding the baby, Hannah made a snide comment about being careful not to spoil the child, and my daughter, bless her heart, fired back, better spoiled than screamed at. The room went silent. You could cut the tension with a knife. My brother exploded, defending Hannah and saying my daughter was disrespectful. I lost it and yelled back about how they had disrespected my daughter first, in her own home. My parents tried to mediate but ended up taking sides, and before you know it, it's a full-blown shouting match. The baby starts crying, Hannah's crying, my brother is red-faced, and I'm just done. I grabbed my daughter and left. On the way home, my daughter broke down, saying she felt guilty about the baby crying and the whole mess. After calming her down, I realized that this toxic environment wasn't worth it. I decided to go low contact with all of them for the sake of our mental health, but wait, there's more. 2 days later, I get a call from a mutual friend. Apparently my brother and Hannah's outburst didn't go unnoticed by their neighbours, and somebody called CPS concerned about the baby's well-being. It was a false alarm, but the incident had my brother and Hannah freaking out and needing someone to blame, and guess who they picked? Yep, me. Now they're accusing me of trying to sabotage their new family. Our parents are split on this, with my mom believing I had nothing to do with it and my dad suspicious of my timing. I had to explain to them and to our extended family and friends that I had no role in it. It's like a soap opera plot, and I'm just over here trying to keep my head above water. So that's the update. No visits, very minimal contact, and a whole lot of chaos. I'm focusing on my daughter and our peace of mind, because that's what matters most right now. Now for the comments. Comment 1, not the idiot. Your first priority is your daughter's well-being and your own mental health. If the family drama is toxic, stepping back is the best thing you can do. Good on you for setting boundaries and not engaging further in the negativity. Hannah and your brother need to address their own issues without dragging you into it. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Just because there's family drama doesn't mean you should wash your hands of the situation completely. Your sister-in-law and brother are going through enough with the CPS call. Accusations aside, families should support each other in tough times. By stepping away, you're adding to their stress instead of helping to resolve the conflict. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Protecting your child from family conflict is important, and it sounds like you've been put in an unfair situation. If Hannah and your brother are quick to point fingers without proof, that's on them. It's not your job to fix their problems, especially when it's causing you distress. You do what you need to do to keep a peaceful environment for your kid. Now, for the next story. I, 16-year-old male, took a picture of our front porch after someone had glitter-bombed our house, smeared some paint on our pillar on our front porch, and kicked our front door. The picture I posted only showing the porch and pillar, with a caption, "Who the F glitter-bombed our porch and smeared paint on our pillar?" and posted it on my public story and my high school Snap story, a new addition to Snapchat. Shortly after, my sister, 14-year-old female, asked me to take it down. I talked to my dad and he said I could keep it up. Shortly after, my sister calls my mum and begs her to make me take it down. My mum calls me and we talk. She also says I can keep it up. Later, my sister messages me and begs me to take it down. We get into an argument where I ask her for any reason, to which she says it's embarrassing and public humiliation. Again, I ask her to explain because she's being rather vague. What is there to be embarrassed about? She then asks why I can't just back her up and names all the things she does for me. Guilt hits after she asks me that. So of course, though it won't solve anything after 300 people have seen it, I take the picture down. She continues to name things she says about me and my friends, backing us up to her friends, and the guilt sets in more. I feel bad for making her that embarrassed, but I don't see how I was embarrassing her by posting that picture. Mind you, it doesn't show anything special about our home, no landmarks or standouts other than a few porch decorations. So, am I the jerk? Edit. I realised I should add my sister is popular at our school and I'm the opposite. She is on all 3 cheer teams, football, basketball and competition. However, because of that, it's well known amongst the people she knows that we're siblings. One of the things she had mentioned was that her friends were messaging her about the post I made, knowing I was related to her without knowing me or following me on Snapchat. Edit 2. I've read all of the comments, both the not the jerk and you're the jerk ones. I didn't really take into consideration that this was a form of bullying because she had talked to her friends and they said it's happened to them too. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was. She had recently said there's a rumour going around that I won't explicitly say, but it wasn't great. And I wouldn't doubt if the girl who spread the rumour had a part to play with all of the glitter. I'll bring it up to my parents when the time is right, but I don't know when that'll be, as my mum was sent to the hospital this morning. My sister cares very much about her popularity and doesn't like it when I'm around when her friends are, or when I dress how I like. We are polar opposites and haven't gotten along for years. Her asking me to take it down felt more like her hiding our relation as much as possible rather than embarrassment for what happened. Even still, I don't know why this would be embarrassing, as I feel people should know if someone is running around kicking front doors after smearing paint and throwing glitter. But I do appreciate several sides I'm getting from everyone. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. I feel like the sister is hiding something or might know the one who did it. Does anyone at school know that you're her sister? Comment 2. You are aware that she is probably the one who did it, right? Not the idiot. Now for the update. First off, remember how I thought the vandalism had something to do with that rumour about me? Spot on. Turns out it wasn't just some random act of mischief. It was a targeted attack by a group of guys from my school who apparently took that rumour way too seriously. They thought I had snitched on one of them for cheating on a test, which, for the record, I didn't. Now, here's where it gets wild. I only found out because one of the guys felt guilty and spilled the beans to my best friend, who obviously told me. I was floored. But before I could even process that info, the second bomb drops. My sister was in on it. Yes, you read that right. My own sister helped these clowns because she was mad at me for a stupid sibling spat a few weeks ago. She thought it would be a harmless prank, but when things escalated, she panicked. Her begging me to take down the photo was her trying to cover it up because she realised she messed up big time. So now, our parents are involved, and it's a whole thing. They're super disappointed in her, and there's talk of grounding and removing her from her dance team as punishment. As for the guys who actually did the vandalising, the school got wind of it, and they're facing some serious consequences. Think suspension, potential expulsion kind of deal. Meanwhile, I'm getting apologies left and right, but I'm just sitting here trying to wrap my head around the fact that my sister, who seemed so upset on my behalf, was part of the reason I was scrubbing glitter off our porch at 11 p.m. Oh, and the rumour cleared up. Once the truth came out, people realised I wasn't the snitch. In fact, this whole thing has kind of made me some weird kind of school celebrity, which is the last thing I wanted. So yeah, that's the update from glittery porch to family and school drama. It's been an intense couple of weeks to say the least. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your sister crossed a major line by getting involved in vandalism even as a prank. It's good that everyone's owning up to their actions, but she needs to learn that there are consequences for such behaviour. You were unjustly targeted, and it's only fair that those responsible are held accountable. You're handling the situation with more grace than most would. Comment 2. You're the idiot for revelling in the attention after such a serious incident. It's one thing to be relieved the truth is out, but becoming a school celebrity over this feels like you're capitalising on a bad situation that affected not just you, but your family as well. Maybe focus on repairing relationships instead of enjoying the spotlight. Comment 3. Not the idiot, and honestly, your sister being in hot water is justified. Vandalism isn't a joke, and she needs to understand the gravity of her actions. It's a tough lesson, sure, but better learned now than later. Plus, you've been through the ringer with all this drama, you deserve the apologies, and a chance to move past this without further blame. Now for the next story. My 29-year-old female, husband's 30-year-old male. Parents are wealthy, and he tries to take whatever chance he can to pay them back for the privileged upbringing they've afforded him. We're talking thousands per year. He tries to pay for their bills, send them $1,000 for every birthday, holiday, etc. They try to refuse because they do not need or even want the money. When we're talking wealthy, we're talking they don't bat an eye at spending hundreds of thousands casually on a new vacation home every few years. So the extra money means nothing to them, but my husband absolutely insists on sending them the money and refuses to let them send it back in hopes that he can eventually pay them back. His privileged upbringing is an insecurity of his since often in modern society it's seen negatively to have grown up wealthy and being able to take the easy street in life. He wants to say that his successes are self-made. I bring this up to him each time, but he counters saying that I am selfish and ungrateful for all that they have done for us. It's not giving them our money. It's giving back some of the money that they've given to us, he said. I usually let it go at the end of each argument. I snapped the other day when he offered to pay their $3,000 credit card bill and confronted him after we got home, saying that he needs to consult with me before gifting his parents such large sums of money. I asked him why he feels the need to be giving money from us, a middle-class working couple, to his parents who are in the top 1%. He got defensive and said that anyone and everyone would want to give back to their parents if they could, and because we have the means to, we should. When I point out that it's him they've given money to in the form of paying for his tuition, his car, his food, clothing, etc., he then countered that I can think of it as him alone giving his money back to them. Even though legally, it's our marital assets he's pulling from. He said that it was to my benefit that they paid for his education and a lot of things for him, because when we entered the marriage, he had more assets to bring, while I had less assets since I had to work through my student debt first. So he said it's ungrateful for me to think that the money they've invested into him only benefited him. I don't think this is benefiting any parties involved. $5,000, $10,000 per year means a lot to us financially and is a sizable chunk of our annual income. But to his parents, this is couch change. They insist they don't even want his money, and seem uncomfortable with him forcing it on them each time. I feel like he's only doing this to address his insecurity, but he insists it's not. I keep telling him that his parents want him to pay them back in the form of spending time with them, not in the form of money, but he's stubborn. Am I the idiot here? Maybe I don't understand because I am alienated from my parents and thus don't understand how the normal parent-child dynamic should work. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Holy shoot, this is not the way to deal with his privilege. If you have privilege, you should use it to help others who don't, not to help people who have more privilege. Comment 2. Not the idiot. But I don't think this is even about money. Your husband has some deep issues about his relationship with his parents and upbringing that he needs to address. Comment 3. When parents give loads of money to their kids, there's often a feeling of being indebted, even if no one verbalizes that. Maybe he's trying to not feel indebted. Now, for the update. After a lot of soul-searching and some intense yet constructive conversations, my husband finally opened up about the deep-rooted guilt he's been carrying over his privileged upbringing. He confessed that it was never about the money, but about seeking validation from his parents and proving his independence. We decided to seek couples therapy to work through our differences in a more structured way. During therapy, my husband had a breakthrough. He realized that his parents didn't want or expect his money. What they truly wanted was a relationship with their son built on genuine interactions and not financial transactions. It was a couple of months ago when he broached the topic with his parents. To his surprise and somewhat to his chagrin, they admitted they had always felt a bit uncomfortable with the money he was giving them. They were proud of his achievements and didn't want their relationship to be tainted by financial obligations. In a beautiful turn of events, they proposed using the money he had been giving them to set up a family charity fund. The idea was to support causes we all cared about and to do so as a family. My husband loved the idea, and we've since become involved in various local community projects together. This has brought our families closer and given us a shared purpose. As for us, our financial burden has eased, and our marriage is stronger than ever. We're learning to communicate better and to understand each other's perspectives. We've also started a small tradition of our own, where we spend one weekend a month doing something special as a family, just us or with his parents. It's about time, not money, and these moments have been some of the happiest we've had. In the end, my husband's relationship with his parents has transformed. They spend more quality time together, and he's learned that their love and pride in him are not tied to his bank account. It's been a heartwarming journey for all of us, and I'm so grateful that we found our way through this. Our future looks brighter, and our bonds, both as a couple and as a family, are stronger because we faced this issue together and came out with a deeper understanding of what matters most. Now for the comments, comment 1, not the idiot. Honestly, this is a beautiful outcome. Using money to set up a charity fund instead of just handing it out to already comfortable parents is a brilliant way to give back and find shared meaning. It's great that therapy helped you realize that relationships are more than financial transactions. Plus, it sounds like your parents are genuinely supportive of this decision, so it's a win-win situation that's brought everyone closer. Kudos to you. Comment 2. You're the idiot. I get where you're coming from, but it sounds like you made a decision about the money without fully considering your parents' feelings. They might say they're okay with it because they love you, but they could be just putting on a brave face. You should have involved them in the decision-making process, especially since it's their money too. It's great to start a charity, but not at the expense of your parents' financial comfort. Comment 3. Not the idiot at all. It's refreshing to see someone with privilege become self-aware and take steps to use their resources for the greater good. Establishing a family charity fund is a commendable way to address the guilt and transform it into positive action. Strengthening your marriage and family bonds in the process is just the cherry on top. Therapy can work wonders, and it seems like it did for your family. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.